As we get older, life changes slowly sometimes. And sometimes it's rather subtle. We don't really notice it. It just kind of creeps up on us. But when you're older and you make a decision to change your job or maybe change your career, those changes that were subtle up until this point, they just kind of hit you in the face like a 2x4. If you're over 50 and you've been out job hunting lately, you've no doubt run into a situation where you walk into the interviewer's office and you notice their face just drops. They look at you for the first time and they realize that you're not a younger person applying for a job. This happens to all of us, whether you're in the U.S., whether you're in Great Britain, Australia, or any other country. I get numerous comments from people all over the world who comment on the frustration and really the anger that they feel when they're out looking for a job and they know that their age, it stops that HR manager or that hiring manager from employing them because a hiring manager doesn't realize the true value that an older person, a person over 50, they don't realize the value that they have. But don't let that hinder you from furthering your career. In this video, what I want to do is talk about how you can leverage your skills, your talent, and how you can soar. So let's talk about some life-changing career advice that I believe, that I know can help you to further your career. The first thing, commit to learning about new in-demand skills. And I'm not necessarily talking about new in-demand high-income skills, although that would certainly be ideal. I'm talking about commit to learning about trends. Listen to the news, read articles, look to see where the job market is going. And then what you do is you commit to getting there before anyone else can. But to do that, it's going to take your commitment to investing your time and your money and your energy into learning these new skills, learning where the market's going, decide what you need to learn to get there to be productive and to be marketable. Another bit of what I consider life-changing career advice for people over 50 is to think about this. Think about starting your own business, taking charge of your future and not giving anyone any leverage over to when you come into work, when you can go home, what you can do, how often you go to the bathroom, how often you go to that water cooler, how long you take a lunch. Commit to yourself. Don't give anyone leverage over you. So one of the life-changing suggestions, bit of advice that I can give, something that I've learned in my years of being on this planet. What I've learned is this: take control of your life by starting a business. Now, it's not going to happen overnight. You're going to take some time to learn about a business that you want to start. You're going to take some time to putting the infrastructure together, and then it's going to take time to grow. It will take time. But even if it takes 5 years, or if it takes 2 years, or 3 years, or 1 year, those are years that you're committing to your future. The reason that I suggest, and I often suggest, people should start their business, their self-employed career by starting a side hustle is really pretty simple. It's because when you start a side hustle, you don't have to put in, or you don't need to put in as much time. You don't need or have to put in as much capital. You don't have to spend as much money. You don't have to spend as much energy because you're building that business slowly. And what you're doing is you're building it. You're learning in the beginning. You're learning what you want to do. You're building the infrastructure. You're laying the foundation. And then you're growing your business. And you're growing that business at a pace that's comfortable for you. I'll say this, though, and I've had this happen to me about a dozen times. When you start seeing that money coming down, when you see that money start to trickle in, it gives you energy. It gives you confidence that what you're doing is correct, that you're on the right path, that you can build something, that you can use all that smarts, all that education, all that time that you spent learning at some other person's expense. You can use that time and you can leverage it to build your own business, a successful business, a business that's going to have a future. Starting a side hustle is way smarter than just leaping into a business full-time and deciding I'm going to do this. The other thing that's great about a side hustle is this. You're starting a side hustle. You are not wedded to that side hustle. If it doesn't work out, if you decide it doesn't work out, you haven't committed that much time or that much energy or that much money to it. So it's a lot easier to jettison that. Years ago, I sat with a guy who actually started Office Max. He had 3 Office Max stores when he and I first met. I was in his car. He was driving his car, and we're going out to lunch. And I said to him, I said, Mike, I said, what is the thing that drives you? And I remember he said fear of failure. He didn't want to fail. Mike actually ended up building $1 billion company, and that fear drove him. If you're worried about losing your job, or if you're concerned what tomorrow will bring, think about starting a side hustle. Well, there you have it, folks. I just wanted to give you my take on what I consider life-changing advice for people over 50. Now, if you have any comments, please submit them, put them in our comments section. I'd be happy to answer them. I really do try to get it to every single comment. Sometimes I get hundreds a day, sometimes more, sometimes a lot less. It just depends on the time. I do try to address them. And if you would, I'll ask you to subscribe to our channel. Subscribe just by hitting that little red button. It's underneath the screen. There's also a little bell. If you smash that bell, every single time I upload a new video, you'll be notified in your inbox. Well, as I said earlier, I'll say it again. That's all I got. Have a great day, everybody.